So hello student, as I have already explained you this transmission line in your introduction class. That transmission line is a impedance matching circuit particularly used to feed your antenna, that is from your transmitter to antenna. Here this is your antenna, suppose this is your transmitter. Here the signal is modulated and this voltage and current wave is carried and feed to the antenna for propagation. So this antenna going to convert that voltage and current wave to electromagnetic waves, and finally that waves travel, and again we have a receiving antenna, and from that receiving antenna, for example receiver is your television, and this from this receiving antenna the wire which is going to carry the power and feed it to into your receiver is also known as your transmission line. So basically we will have two types of transmission line: coaxial cable and parallel wire line, as I have already explained you. So then the transmission line has two purpose. First, it is carrying power from transmitter to antenna and from antenna to receiver. Second one is it is also a impedance matching circuit. Impedance matching, which we have already studied in circuit theory, your network theory subject. That is, whenever a source is delivering power to load, here the source is your transmitter and load is your antenna. In this case, source is your antenna and load is your receiver. So whenever we are transmitting power from source to load, your the power will be delivered perfectly, that is 100% power is delivered from source to load only when the impedance is matching, that is the impedance of this transmission line matched with the impedance of input impedance of your antenna. So the purpose of transmission line is also a impedance matching circuit. So how we are going to represent, what is the equivalent circuits, how we are going to represent that wire in circuit, that is I have already drawn here. I have already explained you that when current is flowing it creates magnetic field, and that magnetic field is represented by inductor. When current is flowing through the wire, some losses occurs, and that losses is represented by your resistance. Here L, R, all are distributed in nature, hence we measure per unit length. Here we cannot if you ask the unit of this inductor, unit of the inductor is not Henry, it is Henry per meter, because at high frequency all the parameters are distributed. So I have drawn here a two-wire transmission line. So this two-wire transmission line is separated by some dielectrics, For example, your capacitor, we have two plates and some insulators is inserted between the two metallic plates. This insulator or dielectrics is separated by separating these two wires, and since this insulator is some losses occurs in this insulator, this is represented by conductance. Here G is the conductance and C is the capacitor of the dielectric, capacitance of the dielectric. So will here L is inductance per unit length, inductance per unit length. R is similarly resistance per unit length. G is conductance per unit length, conductance per unit length. That means this is your Henry per meter. Inductance unit is Henry per meter, resistance unit is here ohm per meter, like that. So this is your equivalent circuit. So kindly remember, they will ask you in 2 mark question, draw the equivalent circuits of transmission line. So next we will see so this R, L, G, C are the primary constants of transmission line, Then we will see the basic block diagram, the basic purpose, that is we have a source, this is your source, and your two-wire transmission line is going to connect to load. So this is your source, that is your transmitter, and this is your, for example, antenna. This is your antenna. Antenna here is represented as the load. Source is your transmitter. Source is your transmitter, antenna is your load, and this is your transmission line. I am denoting here TX, that is your transmission line. This source is represented as a voltage source, a Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Source is always represented by Thevenin's equivalent circuit, that is your VG, and it has some internal resistance RG, and it is connected now to transmission line. It is connected to transmission line, and now this is connected to load. So this is the block diagram, this is the circuit. Here this is your transmission line. Previously I have drawn its equivalent circuit, but in general we represent like this. This is your source, this part is your source, I am denoting here S. This part is your load. Load is always represented by a resistor, that is I have denoted ZL. That means RL is the purely resistive circuit. Actually this is a resistance, or we have some inductor is here, so that's why I am representing here ZL. ZL is the load, and this is your transmission line. This is your transmission, and transmission line always having some secondary constant, and this is known as your characteristics impedance. This is the impedance of your transmission line. Z0 is known as your characteristics impedance. So what is a characteristic impedance? Characteristic impedance is nothing but, so here we have to see the source will generate the waves, and these waves is propagating through this transmission line. If this ZL match with Z0, for example, this ZL value is 50 ohm and this Z0 value is 50 ohm, then what will happen? The amount of power sending from the source is 100% absorbed by this load. Why you are delivering power? You want this power must reach to the antenna, so that we can convert the antenna, going to convert that into electromagnetic waves, and that wave will radiate. So this wave will completely absorb only when ZL is equal to Z0. So ZL is equal to Z0 is the impedance matching condition. Impedance matching condition. What do you mean by impedance matching condition? That is all the incident wave. Incident wave means all the waves generated by this source will completely absorbed by this load. No wave is reflected back. But when second condition is ZL not equal to Z0. For example, this ZL is equal to 50, but this Z0 is equal to 75 ohm. Obviously ZL not equal to Z0. So some part of the wave is absorbed by this load, but some part is reflected back to the source. Some part is always reflected back to the source when ZL not equal to Z0. That is this condition is known as impedance mismatch. Impedance mismatch condition. In that case, some part of the wave will be reflected back. But what is your target? Your target is the minimum reflection and maximum absorption by this load. Because you are creating this source, you want your power will reach at this load, it will completely absorbed by this load. You don't want this reflection, hence you need to match this load impedance with the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. Here Z0 is the characteristics impedance. Z0 is the characteristics impedance of transmission line. Characteristics impedance of transmission line. ZL is the load impedance. ZL is the load impedance. Load means here your antenna. Just imagine load is antenna. It can be anything. Source is your transmitter. I am considering this as an example. And this transmission line going to carry the wave, current and voltage wave to the from the source to the load. So next we will see what is this characteristic impedance. Characteristic impedance is and propagation constant. So always we have. So if I will consider here, I am not going to draw again and again. This is your load. So if this direction is in Z direction, so in Z direction, what will, if this is your Z direction, obviously here draw, this is your minus Z direction. So wave is always decaying in nature. Wave is always decaying in nature, and that decaying nature is always represented as e to the power minus gamma Z. I have already explained you. So voltage wave, for example, Vz. Why I am representing here Z? Because this axis I am considering as Z direction. You can take it as X direction. I am here considering as Z direction. So in Z direction, C1 is some constant e to the power minus gamma Z is the wave traveling, and this wave is always decreases in amplitude. This wave is always decreasing. Here we can see amplitude is decreasing. Why decreasing? Because of this material. Because this coaxial cable going to absorb some of the power. That's why your amplitude is decreasing, and that decreasing in amplitude is represented by, we consider it as exponential decay. And some of the power is also is absorbed by your load, and some is reflected, and this reflected wave is traveling in minus Z direction. But minus of minus Z, that means if it is decaying, always decaying, so minus of minus Z means plus Z. So here C2 e to the power gamma Z. So this part is your forward wave, this is your forward wave. Forward wave means wave traveling from source to load, S to L, source to load, and this part is your backward wave. That is from load to source, and this gamma is known as your propagation constant. This gamma is known as your propagation constant. So this is your equation of the voltage wave. Similarly, you can write the current wave C1 e to the power minus gamma Z plus C2 e to the power gamma Z. So now we will study about this propagation constant. We will understand about this propagation constant. Why? Because wave is propagating. As I have already explained you in the previous class, wave always propagate. It is not transmitted. Wave always propagate. So how now this gamma is a complex number. This gamma is a complex number that is denoted as alpha plus j beta. This gamma is known as your propagation constant. This alpha is your real part. This alpha real part always represent attenuation. Attenuation means decrease in the strength of the signal. For example, this is, here you can see the amplitude as it is traveling along, this amplitude got decreases exponentially, So this exponential decrease is represented by this attenuation constant. That is, if I say the medium is lossless, that means this alpha value will be 0. Lossless means no attenuation. Wave will propagate sinusoidally, the amplitude remains constant. This is your lossless medium to propagation. That is, the amplitude remain constant throughout the propagation. As it is traveling from 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer or 5 kilometer, if the medium is lossless, there is no decrease in the strength of the signal, but that is not possible practically. The strength of the signal decreases as it travel along the transmission line, and that decrease in the strength of the signal is represented by attenuation constant, and the unit of this attenuation constant is Napier per meter. The unit is Napier per meter, and this beta is compressed number, the imaginary number beta is known as your phase constant. Phase constant, and this is represented per meter. So this is your phase constant and this is your attenuation constant. So this is gamma is your secondary constant actually, and this gamma is equal to, we don't have any derivation, that's why I am writing the formula R plus j omega L whole into, you need to remember this formula, this gamma is equal to R plus j omega L whole into G plus j omega C root over. So always you have to remember this propagation constant is R plus j omega L whole into G plus j omega C root over. This is a secondary constant. The next we will see another secondary parameter, gamma, and Z0 is your secondary constant. Another secondary parameter, that is your characteristics impedance Z0. This is known as your characteristics impedance, which is equal to R plus j omega L. R plus j omega L, why I am writing this as R plus j omega L? Because of this. This is your R. How to write? This is your R and this is your j omega L, which is nothing but your XL. So R plus XL, and this parallel branch is always going to represented as this is. So this is going to represented as G plus j omega C. G plus j omega C root over. So Z0 is equal to R plus j omega L divided by G plus j omega C root over. This is also your one of the secondary constant. This is also one of your secondary constant. Secondary constant. So then we will see condition for lossless transmission line. Two conditions we will study about, that is your lossless and distortionless. So first is lossless. TX means transmission line. Lossless transmission line. So what is the condition for lossless? So the condition is, obviously in your circuit your resistance always going to represent your loss. So if resistance value is 0, that means your circuit is lossless. Lossless means there is no decrease in the strength of the signal when a signal is propagated 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, 100 kilometers, there is no loss at all. So in circuit, resistance represent that loss. If that resistance value is 0, your circuit is known as lossless transmission line. So condition is R is equal to G is equal to 0. So this is the condition for lossless transmission line. So for this lossless transmission line, what is the value of gamma? Now we are going to calculate gamma value. As we know, gamma is R plus j omega L whole into G plus j omega c root over. So now put the value of r is equal to g is equal to 0 in this equation 1. Suppose this is equation 1, then we will see this r is equal to 0, g is equal to 0, then we have j omega l, because r is 0, g is 0, 0 plus something, that is j omega c root over. So obviously we have j square, here we have j, here we have j omega square and LC. So we can write this as j square omega square LC. So j square omega square take common because we have root over. So root over means we will have j omega, we take it as common. So j omega, remaining we have j omega LC. So here gamma we can write as alpha plus j beta, because gamma we have already studied, gamma is alpha plus j beta. So here alpha value is, we can just compare left hand side with right hand side. Alpha value is from this equation 2, from this equation 2 we have alpha value is 0, beta is equal to omega LC. So for lossless transmission line, attenuation constant we can see here 0, but your phase constant is omega LC root over. So next is omega LC root over. So next is, we will see for this condition, lossless condition, we have to write lossless condition. What is the condition? That is r is equal to g is equal to 0. So for that, what is the value of this Z0? Z0 is your characteristic impedance. That means r plus j omega l divided by g plus j omega c root over. So by putting the value of r and g is equal to 0 in this equation 1, we will have directly, I am writing j omega l divided by j omega c root over. So this omega, j omega cancel out. What is remaining there? Z0 is equal to L by C root over, which is nothing but Z0 is equal to L by C root over. That is your, what we will find, this characteristic impedance is a real number, So how to represent this lossless transmission line? Since R is equal to 0, then what is the equivalent circuit of this lossless transmission line? The equivalent circuit will be like this. There is no resistance present and no conductance will be present. So this is your only L and C, no R and G, since this is a lossless line. Then the next line we will study about, that is your condition for distortionless line. That we will see in the next class about the condition for distortionless line, and we will solve few problems on this transmission line. So thank you.